so fucking angry at the moment, and I need to make some more videos because what I'm going through is potentially helpful for other people. Now, my present situation is I've been looking for, I'd say, a mentor stroke sponsor. Sponsorship is based in NA, mentorship is based outside of NA. And boy, it's been difficult. I'm gonna go into the situation with NA, AA. It's all anonymous, isn't it? Fuck it, I've already, I've put it out there. 12-step fellowships, Now these people are supposed to be, or we are supposed to promote values of the highest standard. Say what you mean and mean what you say. But in my experience, in fact, most people are full of shit. And unfortunately, the further down the road you get, the narrower it gets. And I think I've experienced that. Because I'm 5 years, consecutive days, back to back, next month. 5 years, I think it's the 8th, 7th of July. I mean, I don't obsess over it. But yeah. And so that's without a drink or a drug, any mind-altering substances. And before that, it was, 2-3 years, whatever. So this is the longest period. And I let go of my sponsor earlier this year. I had to. There was just no substance in the relationship. I could tell him, and this is probably not too dissimilar from what happened. I could tell him I'm thinking of jumping off a bridge tomorrow, and the dude would say, "Well, thanks for sharing that with me." It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, anyway, obvious incompatible, right? Obvious, for my, for my personal reasons. There was a lot of incompatibility. But look, the guy had, the reason why I held on to him is because he had integrity. Because if he said something, he'd stand by it. He wouldn't just disappear. You could depend on him. The contents of the conversations that you would have with him, maybe those would be unhelpful. But apart from that, anyway, let's move on. So then I had to start looking for somebody else. And the number of people with multiple years that I came across that would say one thing and do another was fucking unbelievable. Even after a meeting, you would share, right, I'm in this position and I'm looking to find somebody to sponsor me. And the meetings where I would go to, I drove all around London. The meetings that I would go to, I'd spend like 2 hours to get to some of these meetings. And most people just go up the road 10-20 minutes, they'll go to the local meetings. But in Surrey, where I'm based, there wasn't many people that had a lot of clean time or had more clean time than me. And I'm looking for somebody, if they're going to guide me, if they're going to give me value in terms of how they can guide me, I need somebody who's going to have some more time than me, considerably more time than me. And based on the work I've done on myself, it's not going to cut it if someone's got 10 years or less than 10 years. Even more so, people just tend to, in my experience, they just don't tend to do much more work on themselves than necessary to keep themselves sober, so they can pay their bills. After that, they couldn't give two shits, to be honest. And that's fair enough. Look, at the end of the day, you're contributing to the greater good because you're not out there and using drugs and you're taking care of your family. Okay, fair enough, the world's a better place. But how we evolve and help other people is by our 12th step, which is you have to carry the message to the addict that still suffers. So when somebody needs you, you give your time. Now this wasn't the case in my experience. People with multiple years, 10, 20, 30 years, I would share, this is my situation, I'm looking for sponsorship, and then you'd get to the end of the meeting and I would say I've traveled 2 hours, and these motherfuckers, excuse my language, but these fuckers would just walk out. They wouldn't even think to stop and have a conversation. Now I'm not saying they should sponsor me, but if you've got someone that's expressed they've traveled 2 hours, and at the end of the meeting you just fucking walk off, you've got multiple years clean, you're going to the meetings in London where the clean time is, you don't think that you might be able to be helpful and pass on a number or something? So you had that. On top of it, I was taking numbers, I was calling people. People were just flaking. Again, we're not asking people to sponsor us. We're just trying to have conversations or create a dialogue. These people, and some people would offer their number. Take my number. Okay, you've proactively given me your number. Nothing. Okay, then don't give your number out. Oh, well, you got busy. Okay, well, realise that you're dealing with people that need support, need help. Try and be more conscious of the fact that you're not in a place to give your time. And people are like, oh, well, get busy, blah, blah, blah. No, bollocks. I've got a standard. The people that I help, my sponsees, I'm there for them. And if I can't be there for them, I'll fucking tell them. So all this shit, oh, busy, blah, 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 no. Because someone helped you when you came in. I'm far from someone who's going to fall off the wagon, but know what's coming out your mouth. People don't know what's coming out their fucking mouths anymore. I just want to put that out there. So, I don't know if people will listen to this, if they're in the rooms, out the rooms, or whatever. I just want to make a video. Maybe I won't even post this. But people just aren't accountable for what's coming out their mouth. You know? And for me, if I take someone's number, if somebody takes my number, I know that. And I'll engage with them. I'll do my best to engage with them. I'll be accountable. If I can't, I'll let them know. Right? Especially if you're dealing with people that have drug addiction, mental health issues, right? Be fucking conscious. But people aren't, are they? That's a standard you want to live by. You fucking live by that standard. No wonder you come to the fucking meetings complaining all the time. Oh, this and that and blah, blah, blah. They just come and complain, dump their shit and go. But I tell you what, I found a beautiful human being. 77. Would you believe it? I posted on a group with 21,000 people in a Facebook group, and this one little old man reached out to me, and he said, you know, I'll sponsor you, but you're on one basis. You sponsor somebody else. You take care of someone else. I was like, I'm already doing that. That's not an issue. We had a conversation. And he told me, he goes, I was, you know, it was a shame to see when you posted, no one responded with anything. People want to respond when they say they want to tell you what to do. Why don't you go to some more meetings? Or why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that? But no one wants to actually proactively, you know, give you anything of value. You know, they just want to patronise you. And look, I'm carrying a fucking chip on my shoulder from months of this, so I'm just gonna chuck it out there. And you know, this guy, 77, 44 years clean, right? He sponsors multiple people, many people, right? And that's all I need. I just need one example. I just need, fuck everyone else. You don't want to do the work, I don't give a fuck. You know, but it's a real shame, a real sad to see how people are, you know, how people are going on. That's my experience, you know. That is my experience. He just happened to He just happened to share that he was disappointed in how things are going, and the generational difference between when he started and now. He said, oh, you know, we've allowed things to devolve, if that's a word, devolve, and now people are just coming and it's like bad group therapy. That's what he said. People just come in, they're dumping their stuff, and they're not doing what is necessary. They're not doing the work. And he says that he feels like it's for him to make an amends because his generation never set things straight. And that's all I needed, you know. I know there are good people out there. I just need one person to set an example for me, and that's it. You know what? I'll take whoever I engage with now in those meetings. I'm there for them, right? I just went through a phase where I thought, you know what? For so long, I haven't had anybody to set an example for me. I was just like, fuck this. I got to a point where I didn't want to answer my sponsees' calls, but I never did that. I was always there, and if I wasn't in a place to do so, I would have said. But, you know, I went through my stuff. But this guy, you know, 77, you wouldn't think, like, you'd speak to him on the phone, you'd think, wow, this guy is like in his bloody 20s or 30s, you know, he's full of life. You know, I hope that I can share this journey with him for a little while. You know, he's obviously a certain age. Wow, what an amazing man. And yeah, it's just it's someone who can set a good example for me, and I'm, you know, and I intend to do the same thing. Just so happened today, I came across somebody who was struggling, and I was like, dude, you know, I'll come and get you. I'll come and get you, and I'll take you to a meeting, and it, you know, it felt right. It felt yeah, it's a privilege to be able to do that. And before, it's like, not long ago, I'd been like, fuck that. I don't want to take no one. I don't want to fucking put myself out. Like, I don't, my desire to help people, my capacity to be willing to help people in the 12 steps, it was just not there. It wasn't there. Based off of what I saw, you know. And I'm not like that. Usually I'm the one who will always take the number. I don't even care about talking to other people. I couldn't care less about you if you've had a few years, you know, because of that kind of thing. I just kept my distance from most people who had clean time. It was like, you know, it worked for me. I just turned up, but this time it was like, okay, let me try and network with these people who have clean time. And I was disappointed. Not just people for not networking with people just with with clean time for sponsorship. I just thought, you know what, let me see if I can just network, see what I can take from these people. And I was really fucking disappointed, you know. But it won't happen in the future, you know. It won't be a proactive effort unless I just connect with someone, and, you know, and organically it happens. I'm there to take care of people that are struggling, and then I'm out. And that's how I like to run things, and I'm happiest that way, you know. Not that I'll ignore people in meetings, but yeah, and that's my experience. I just need to put that on a video. I potentially may share this, maybe not, but that's me out.